Hi guys, hope everybody is safe and well. I'm going to do a scale video, continuation of our scale video. We'll do a quick review of some of the second position scales and then finish up the position studies scales as they show them in second position in our book. And then we'll look at some of the third position scales and maybe preview the E major too, which would also be one of the choices for the Unit 1 test. So as we start to learn some of these fingerings, I'm going to start to encourage you, again, to think about the repetitive nature of these fingerings as you can move them up and down the fretboard. It's not just that we learn a fingering, for example, in D major, the first one that's shown in the book, and then that's it for D major. I can learn several fingerings for that particular key that will allow me to cover the entire fretboard, but I can also take that one scale and play it in any key, that fingering. So you're going to hear me start to refer a little bit more to not only what finger and what string is the lowest root in the scale, what finger starts to play that note, and what string it's on, but also what chord shape that we know from first position that we can see within that scale. So for example, the D scale in second position, which had two sharps, an F sharp and a C sharp, and we've talked about how to build a scale. So we don't need to touch on that at this point, but I'm going to say it's fourth finger root major, fourth finger root major, and it's the fifth string that I'm playing the root on. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. D, C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D. And the scale shape is basically like a C chord with my index finger barred or capoed across the fretboard. So if you parallel that to the C scale we learned with the open strings, that's exactly what's happening up a whole step now. Fourth finger root. Now I'm just playing it as a one octave scale right now. Of course, you want to learn the whole position around the octaves there, but we're going to try to just, like I said, do a quick review of the scales that we've had so far. So the A scale is also a fourth finger root, and we're going to see some similarities in the scales on the sixth string, fourth finger, major category, and the fourth string. The triads are both there on the bottom, and this fingering with three sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp, has one little shift in it, but I am basically playing the same scale as the D scale in terms of the fingering. It's just got the, again, the adjustment of the B string in there, but if you watch one, parallel is the triad on the bottom and the bottom fingering here. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And if you think about it for a moment, what is a six-string root chord? This is not an E chord shape, but more of a G chord shape. Okay, so that A scale we have is now played over a voicing that is very similar to a G in first position. We're going to start to see, again, with use of a capo and barring, that these chords could be moved to any fret. The third scale that we'll review is the C scale. Now notice this one starts on the middle finger. So they're in this section of the book showing us two scales that go off the sixth string and fifth string with my pinky, and we're going to look at a new scale in a moment, the G scale. Two scales that go off of the sixth string and fifth string with middle finger. So the C scale they showed us no sharps or flats, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. If I play the 1 octave version of that scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, we're going to find that that is exactly the same fingering as the 6-string root with my middle finger on the bass. So that G scale will be adding 1 sharp, the F sharp, and we can play 2 octaves here. So before I do that, I just want to say one more time, middle finger, 5th string root, and the chord shape there is like an A chord with the bar. It's very important you start thinking about when you play a scale, what chord shape you're playing over, or vice versa. If you're playing a chord, what the scale shape is there, for a lot of reasons. If you're playing melodies or leads over the chords, excuse me, but also in the manipulation of chords, being able to see all of the scale notes shows me where I can play 6ths, 7ths, and so on. So if I move to the 6th string root, I've got this G scale. Excuse me, this is found on page 9 of the position studies. And it's got 1 sharp. And instead of the old G scale that we played with the open strings, now all of my strings that were open are closed. So I have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Of course, I could reach A there too. G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G, F sharp, G. And there's a rhythm that they show the scale played in, which basically pauses on the root, which is a great way to practice any scale, to kind of infuse in your mind and in your fingers where that home note is. Again, it's a target note for melodies and for when you're soloing, but it also, again, kind of points out where those roots are in the chord shape. Now, the octave G's right there outline a big E chord. Now, that's a G chord. When I say E chord, I'm referring to the shape, which we'll call voicing soon, and we'll break down these voicings very soon too. So that's actually how it's written in the book. It's got a quarter note and then 8th notes, quarter note on the root and 8th notes. And I would suggest practicing that with down and up picking. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So if I back up a little more here, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 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 1. And if I was playing with my fingers, I'd be doing constant alternation between index and middle. Okay, so I wanted to add some of the new scales here in this video as well, too. So the 3rd position is what we're introducing now, which is G, G sharp, A sharp, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. I'm sorry, no E there. That would be E flat to F, or D sharp to F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp or B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, G, A flat or G sharp, A, and A sharp or B flat. And again, these inharmonic tones or accidentals can have 2 names, B flat or A sharp, A flat or G sharp, G, F, E, E flat or D sharp, D, C sharp, C, B, B flat. And again, as I'm going down, I'll name them as flatted notes now. A flat, G, G flat, F, E flat, D, D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G. And the scale that is introduced at this point is a B flat major, which is the same as the A scale fingering that you've been practicing, moved up a half a step. So I take that fourth finger again and put it on the root note B flat, and the fingering will be exactly the same. There's a triad there, there's a G chord type chord there. The octave shapes are important to pay attention to where they're at. One on a 6 string, G string, B flat, high E, B flat. And I've got 2 flats here, B flat and E flat, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, B flat, A, G, F, E flat, D, C, B flat, A, G, F, E flat, D, C, B flat. And again, a really nice position to play in because of the 2 octave distance that I can get between those 2 scales. And there is one other scale introduced on the, as we talked about, 4th string root. So just like we learned the D scale first here, E flat scale, the exact same fingering. I've got 3 flats now. E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. And if I finish the position, I'd have F, G, A flat, B flat, A flat, G, F, E flat, D, C, B flat, A flat, G, F, E flat, D, C, B flat, A flat, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. And again, that can sound pretty complicated with all those flats, but it's essentially the exact same fingering as I learned on D. Okay, the exact same fingering, and really the same functionality in pitches, stepwise, just moved up a half a step. The D scale, the E flat scale. And I'm going to preview the E scale here. If I played E and went up a half a step, I'd have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, sharp, B, C, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. So I went from 3 flats to 4 sharps by just moving up 1 half step, and the fingering was exactly the same. So again, I want you to start thinking of what finger starts the scale. It's a major scale right now that we're talking about. And what string you start playing on. So we have, for example, the A scale for my 4th finger, 6th string, and the D scale for my 4th finger, 5th string. And I have B flat on the 6th string and E flat on the 5th string. And with my middle finger, I played a C chord or C scale and a G scale with the exact same fingering on the bottom. So we'll stop there, and we'll continue to add to our scales as we move forward. Have a great day.